So, this is a video sequence from my friend Angus, who's got sore knees, and it worked really well for him this afternoon. So, just to help his memory out, I thought I'd record it. But it might also be anyway good for anyone else who's done a lot of running or cycling and then stopped it and had to deal with the fact that the body was more resilient when they kept abusing it. Which is a funny thing that happens to us. Now, I'm going to start just by finding this nice position now. There's a chance that you won't be able to easily find this position if you're a random person watching this. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go side to side with my shoulders and walk my hands towards my body. And I'll keep my hands quite straight. And I'm actually going to slide my hands back, and that really helps me to get a nice, comfortable whole body shape. And now about here I'm aware that something wants to change there, so I'm going to let it. I'll keep my hands going back. And that's me get my weight in my knees. And I can keep that process going with some side to side and explore what my body can accept at the moment. And I've got some pain in this right hip, so I'm not going to push it just yet. Now, it might be, if you're watching this, that even finding this might be too much for you, in which case, just go back to here and see if it's different. And as soon as it seems like it might be a bad idea to continue, just stop and get back to it. So for some people, this might be all they should be doing. So that's step one. Now the next step is just to start getting a bit of, well, this action happening. I'm brush my hands forward, go up onto the tips of my toes, walk my hands in. Now the first thing you want to be aware of is if you just push straight back there, you're probably going to feel quite a little resistance in your toes. So I'm just a little push just to lift me up a tiny bit so that when I slide back, well not slide back, so when I move back to get my boxers to my knees, it feels nice and smooth. And then rock forward, go back onto my insteps, raise my hands back, put a little weight behind me, and get a nice stretch in my instep. And then rock forward, and onto my toes, walk my hands in, gentle lift, come back. And the point is that if we were in this position for a long time and we really wanted a stretch, and it was maybe some mobility we wanted to be comfortable with every day, then there's a good chance that we're going to get quite a lot of asymmetry and our body's going to get tired and bored of being in this one position. And although we might develop some flexibility in our joints, we might not actually be able to use that in smooth movements afterwards. So this is just to give us some more options. It might be that if you're watching this, this is all you should be doing. And in the same way, any point, as soon as it stops feeling nice, just stop. Now, I'll do one more. I'll start talking about options. Now, I should probably have talked about this before. I'm keeping my legs safe by having my toes, my heels, and my knees touching at all times. And that means there's no part that's going to be particularly stressed by this motion. And now I'm going to try and feel, just to see if I can get my heels on the ground. I can. Can I go forward? Not without lifting out my feet. I'll let myself do that a little. Find the ground. Come back into position. Gaze forward. Come back. And now I'm going to explore more of the space behind me. And I'm not necessarily looking for a particular stretch in my hip flexors or my quadriceps. I'm certainly getting a nice even stretch across my instep, but it's more that if I find in a position like this in an activity, that it's not going to be something shocking or fearful when I get there. And I just can't get my weight forward, can it? Oh, I'll have a wee push. Why not? You're allowed to cheat. Cheat everything, guys. Always cheat. Just make sure you do it cleverly. Okay, so that was some nice movements. Now you're probably going to feel quite limber here. And that's when we take it one step further. And this will be all leading to my best version of duck walk at the end. Because that's a nice movement, and because I suffer from dislocation in this knee clap, and it's quite likely to pop out during this, and I don't really mind. And if that happens to you, obviously you discuss it with your doctor and they'll tell you to give in and you make the choice. Make the choice wisely. So, this time, and I'll show you from behind first, as I go forward, I'm going to go into one toe, and then lift myself gently up over the sticky bit, but not so far that I'm using momentum, or that I'm not getting a nice stretch. And then slide back with an other kneecap gently grazing the ground until you find yourself in a very deep squat with one leg up pretty much as high as you're going to be getting it. And all your weight nicely committed on the other foot here. And a nice relaxed position. Now, this wouldn't have been for me 5 minutes ago, a nice relaxed position. But it is now. Now, again, do the same on the other side. And the thing that's important and why we approach the exercise this way, when we were learning this pathway, this knee was always being supported by the connection between the opposite knee. But now that my hip and the muscular system in my lower body and the balance of the top above it is used to this very safe movement, when I start to strain the knee a little, by having all of the weight on it and by having this quite tight squat, it's not really a hassle. And then I can explore something behind me, maybe pad about a little. Anything feels bad, stop it. This is not about stretching. This is about making positions seem normal and moving as smoothly as you can with the best balance you can through them. And as I'm doing this, if I wasn't talking to you, it would start to become a real meditation. And I'm going to be quiet for a bit, and hopefully you'll be able to hear what the meditative focus would be. And it will be the sound in my hands and my feet. And try to avoid sounds like this. And try and make it so that the sound starts with a very gentle tangent. This is a crescendo, and then a decrescendo. And if that's the way the sound's going, then I know that I'm applying force smoothly, and there's no sticking points in the range. So I'll try and be quiet. I'm a very verbose person, and hopefully the camera will pick up and you'll hear what I'm talking about. I'm only exploring what seems like a good idea right now, not moving through any resistance if I can possibly avoid it. Okay, now that I have that, my body's telling me that I want my legs to be straight for a bit. So I'm certainly going to do that. I'll just sit here, feels okay. And this is just my needs right in the moment. I didn't plan to do this. But also I'll probably get a nice stretch here because I've stretched all the other side subtly. Let my elbows bend. And since this is going to be a long one, I'm going to try and make this a really nice, relaxed pike for the moment. I've had a lot of damage to this leg over the years and this hip. And it's actually quite hard for me to bear weight on that and feel safe. So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to go side to side and do a kind of an elephant walk. But instead of trying to find the tightest line, I'm moving through every line in this leg that I can find. Committing some weight to the ground. Try to deepen the pike as I go. Continue. And the amplitude I'm choosing is the one that feels both nice and slightly challenging at the moment. And maybe for you it's just going to be padding about here, and like it was for me just a few days ago, perhaps when you get to here you feel you couldn't possibly go that way out of fear and unusualness. You might have a build-up of some necrotic tissue here, perhaps due to a incompetent and unnecessary diclofenac injection and earnestly an imbecile, like I did. But none of that really matters, because what will happen is, if you just find where you feel safe, and you know your hands there keeping you safe, you can very gradually take a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then maybe find the ground with your elbow, whatever it is for you, and then I'm angling forward as I'm trying to look for comfort with my chest closer to my knees. And slowly, but not that slowly really, it's getting there. And rather than trying to rip the arse out and go to the max just now, I'm going to let my knees bend. Feel what it's like in my hips to be a little further forward. And now I'm going to make a walk. I'm going to walk my buttocks and my legs toward each other as I try and stay as far forward as possible. And in order that I don't try and redress muscular imbalances by strengthening one side, but simply noticing that I'm holding an asymmetrical shape, and that asymmetrical shape will vanish if I have a nice walking like motion. I'm walking my buttocks towards my heels as I sway from side to side. You can use any pattern you want. I think I'll be around circles today, so it's going to be buttock, foot, foot, buttock, buttock, foot, foot, opposite buttock, buttock, foot, opposite foot, buttock. And as I get to about here, I'm feeling some quite sharp pain there because I've been doing a lot of running, which is why I'm having to address a problem in my knees. Well, not a lot of running, but I'd stopped dead and then started back at a level was maybe a little inappropriate. I didn't worry about it because these things are a process. I'm still walking in, and that discomfort's gone. Probably loosened the position a little there. And now the bit I really like, I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to keep that movement going. I'm just going to walk my buttocks back and try and stay as close as I can to my feet and as forward as I can, and really try and reach out behind me with my bum. And at a certain point, my legs are starting to straighten, and I'm maybe rushing a little. But now this feels not too bad, and I'm not going to try and finish it today by forcing anything, but I'm going to let it unwind gradually so there's not too much recoil that things tighten up a lot more and I'm carrying a lot of pain. So just improving the range of normal, and not a day when I'm trying to smash through anything. Oh. Now, after that digression, what my body needed, and I strongly urge anyone listening, when they're exploring their body, if it suddenly cries out at them that it wants to change position and explore something else, you simply allow yourself to do it. So, back to my attempt at improving my duck walk. Now, this knee might dislocate. Kind of hope it does. It never bothers me anymore. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of a duck walk. So I'm in this deep squat. I've got my hands here for guidance, my training wheels, just to make it so that if there's a point where I feel some pain and my body's likely to startle and enter a pattern where the area where I feel the pain will clench and give me something that feels like an injury, and then that could be a pattern of muscular tension that's going to be activated whenever I approach that position. So this is just to keep my body reassured, just like all the previous preparations. And then just take some gentle weight on my tented fingers and see if I can just do a similar motion to the one before. So this knee's coming down and this one's sliding forward. And exchange them and back into my deep squat, spend some time there. And yeah, just playing about with it. And although I'm a 50-year-old man with bad knees that never imagined I could do that whatever, when I get through these procedures and it happened the very first time, this starts to seem like a reasonable thing to be doing. And that was the click of my kneecap popping back in, absolutely painlessly. I'll see if I can get it backwards. Oh, I'm not good at that yet, am I? But I think the forward version, at maximum depth, rolling through maximum extension, in every joint, it's going okay. I hope you enjoy yours.